Sat
Om. Namaste, welcome everyone to Satsang here in Rishikesh this morning. And not forgetting all, welcome to those of you who are joining via broadcasting. We're very happy that we can be together in the same time, the same energy field of Satsang today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And today, if I can just start today by saying that, as you know, we're in Rishikesh, it's an open season, and so everyone is invited, they can come. But I would like to say, if you are new to Satsang or new to the Satsangs that are offered here, I would really ask you to not just get up and put in any question to me at this moment. If you are new to Satsang entirely and you're here, accept it's also by grace that you're here, and whatever it is that you can receive by being here, God will give to you. But primarily, this season is a shorter season than I'm usually here, and I know that many people have been following the pointings from around the world. For those beings whose intention has been to come to some final clarity of seeing, I invite questions from you in particular, so that the more kind of domestic questions and questions concerning too much kind of, I don't know how to classify that. You know what I'm speaking about, that we don't get caught up too much in personhood. Nevertheless, I am not sweeping aside any question, though it may start in the place of personhood, but if it is open to go beyond this into clear understanding, clear discovery, then you can come also. But I want to hear from the Sangha who have been pondering over the invitation or self-inquiry to really go beyond what may appear to be an obstruction so far that has not been resolved. It's good like that? Thank you. Welcome to Satsang, everyone, and very good. You.
Namaste, Mujib.
Namaste, Anand.
Thank you. I love you so much, and I've got so much gratitude for you. I've met you 4 years ago in Montesahaja. I've had a question, and you answered that way that I actually dropped myself completely. And
No, sorry, can you say? You say you
well,
have?
When I spoken to you,
Yes.
those 4 years ago, I disappeared. Myself disappeared, and the thoughts couldn't enter just for another 2 days. Like I was completely without thoughts.
Was it good? Was it good?
It was great.
Okay.
But since then, those 4 years, I've been contemplating, I've been meditating, and I've been trying to tackle the mind, or I've been trying to go around and ignore it, or work with it. It was just, but now I just don't know where to go, and I just feel like I need your help.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's sufficient what you say. I endeavor that when we speak, although I will address your question in particular, I feel the response and the question is broad enough that everyone can ride on with what we share. You say that 4 years ago you had the experience where your sense of self vanished.
Yes.
Okay? Something must have witnessed that vanishing, isn't it? That the usual, the self which you regarded or related to as your regular normal self somehow was not there. Something noticed the absence of that identity. And I asked you, was it good? And your answer was?
It was great, but I just saw it as an experience only, and I would like to...
You didn't see it as an experience then. You saw it
no.
as an experience when your mind came back.
That's right.
And said, wow, that was nice, I'd like to have that again.
True.
But it was not there to experience that experience. Something was there. Mind came back, the usual position that you regard to be your daily, day-to-day identity and so on. That came back. That came back, okay. That's not a blame. That will come back, okay? Its return was also noticed. And its departure was noticed. Its absence was noticed. And its return also noticed. Is true or not?
It's true.
Yeah. I mean, it may be so quick that we're inclined to, as soon as the sense of the person came back, like a reflex, identity came with it, and then it felt, okay, I came back. But I wanted to slow it down, frame by frame, to really take a look at what happened. Because the mind sense came back, the sense of a person came back, but it was also experienced or noticed to come back.
Yes.
Yes. In its absence, what was there? In the absence of the sense of the person, what remained? What was there? Reporting from you, you said actually it was fine, all is fine. When the sense of the person was not ruling, it was not the presiding deity of the body. He's gone. and there was peace, silence, contentment. I don't know how long this period
It was
lasted.
only 2 days.
2 days, okay.
Oh,
Good,
it was
2
2
days.
days.
2 days, okay. And then somehow, slowly or suddenly, the sense of the person came back. I'm sure it was a little bit of a disappointment.
I was really grateful for the experience. Just gave me the sense of what I'm reaching forward, or
Yes,
I don't know
okay.
how to say it. But I know that you're the only one who can help.
I'm not the only one. Maybe others can help too. But so the sense of the person came back. With it came the one who's speaking to say, yes, now I know, actually, what to go for. Because I had that experience when my mind person was not present, and it was beautiful. I love it. I love being here. Now mind has come back, and it's created a kind of cloudiness around that, and I have the sense that, okay, at least I know what to go for. Okay, so we can proceed from there. Since 4 years, what has happened? Bring me up to date and tell me what happened.
My life got much better. The identity was less and less. I got, I guess, better in myself, and because, but I still can see the attachment to all the thoughts, and it drags me back.
That you can see, the attachments to thoughts. What is important is that you recognize that is also observable.
Yes.
I hope you're going to come and experience the significance of what I'm speaking. That you are aware of the intrusiveness of thought or something watches that, no? If you are watching something, the thing that you're looking at cannot be the essence of who you are as the one looking. Would you agree or not?
Could you say it again, please?
Yeah, I know. I said that. I've been saying it again and again for a long time. Because quickly the mind forgets it. It doesn't want to hear. No? Oh. So, I think I forgot now.
Almost.
Something observed, no? That the mind's self, the mind's stuff comes. Whatever is observed cannot be the essence of the one who is observing.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at my hand is not looking at me. Something is observing now this thing, now my thoughts are coming back and so on. Are the thoughts you? Now what happens is that when the thoughts come back, there's a tendency to get personal with them. It is as though the energy of them is inviting you into a personal relationship. They have something to say to you. It may be something like, you need to try harder. It was better yesterday, or something, no? And who is it speaking to? It cannot be speaking to your natural state. It must be speaking to the idea you have of who you are, not your true self. It's speaking to your self-image presently. Only then can it perhaps succeed into pulling the consciousness, which is not personal, into the shape of a person. If that happens, you may then say, wow, now I'm experiencing my mind, is this, the sense of a problem comes. All problems of this nature are personal and person-based. When you say, I can observe that, it is an opening, a clue, an opportunity for me to say, good, if you can notice it, or if it can be noticed, okay? Normally we are putting a lot of attention and projection on the thing that you're looking at. But from the place where you're looking from, you remain unaware because of habit of saying this thing is happening, now the mind is getting bigger. You're telling the story of what you're seeing. But I am inviting you to look at where you're looking from and who you're looking as. Now, it does take some time repeatedly to keep challenging your looking like this, inviting it to. Don't get pulled into the story. Just be aware that of yourself as the witness of it. If you are the witness of something, you are not the thing you're witnessing. It may bear some relationship with you, the witness, but it cannot be a definition of who you are. So my first point is to ask you, are you aware that it is an object of perception that you are somehow getting involved with? But if you leave that play for a minute and put a bit of attention on what is looking at this, can the one who is looking at all of that, can this one be looked at? Who is doing the looking here? If you don't get involved, because if you get involved, we lose our chance. If you get involved, already you start to report, this is happening to me, and why does that have to happen? And I came, it was yesterday, it was that. You see, you're telling the story of your mind, and you're identified with the mind. But if you're able to listen to what I'm saying, that you are aware of this, and because no one encourages us to look at the place we're looking from, then we have missed our chance to come to a deep recognition of the silence and the stillness that you are. When you come to recognize this, the reflex to get pulled into the noise of the play, that will lessen, and you'll become naturally self-aware rather than scenario-aware, rather than aware of the traffic of sensations and so on. You will be more also aware of yourself as the silent and formless witness of that. Gradually, this witnessing becomes more strong, more present, more self-conscious in the correct sense, not psychologically, personally self-conscious, but truly conscious of your consciousness. When that begins to happen, these things which are presently felt as distractions, that will begin to slow down. And it's as though everything seems to be happening, but nothing is happening to you personally because there's no person for it to happen to. Now that might sound to be a strange thing, but experienced, it is the most beautiful. You stay more in the place of observing. We have to learn to observe more and more, and to react or to get involved or identified with our reactions less and less. This little bit of advice that I'm offering now, if you follow it, the fruits are immediate. You begin to see how much you avoid being pulled into the noise or the traffic of all these sensations which are blowing up in your mind all the time. Begin now. You see? Because gradually, you know, what happens? What is it that happens? No? That actions, interactions, reactions are just noticed as just a play. But your beingness does not get sucked into any drama. And yet at the same time, it's not that you don't care, but more and more that you don't mind. And when you are like this, you don't lose your composure, you don't get pulled into excitement and distractedness that easily. And you will enjoy your natural state. you'll want to be more and more established in that, and so that you are less and less pulled about by the pointing mind, the pointing finger of the mind. You're always here. You may spend 30, 40 years of your life and rarely come to recognize your stillness, your natural stillness. Nobody created it. It is not a practice. It is just there for discovery. And this is why I'm delighted, because if I've got to give you a practice, then I think some of you won't be good at it. But because it is there in the heart of everyone, I say, don't be lazy, just look. Keep looking. There is, of course, a kind of natural resistance and reluctance to look because of habit, but also because there are forces working within us that is resistant to liberation. As there are forces within us that gravitate, that is drawn towards a higher expression of life, a higher altitude of consciousness. So these forces are there in potential. Some of them are very active, you see. But as soon as you become conscious, or you're becoming more and more conscious of your true place, you may for a while feel that a real battle is going on. It may feel like that, and you may think, but wait a minute, but why is this happening? Why am I not getting support? But I say, just trust, carry on. It will be like this for a while until somehow you push through this thing and you find your stillness. Whoever it is, everyone who has rediscovered their original nature has come through this kind of crisis. They've come through the battles in the mind and, should I go this and what should I do? And they've been pointing, what should who do? Identify the one who feels I need to do. And gradually you come to see that even this one, your favorite place to be, is itself not your true place, not yet. And as soon as this light arises inside your seeing, you notice, wait a second, not even this position, our regular space of identity, even this that feels so factual, so real, so true, so reliable, you come to see that that is also a state of mind also. When you come to see that, things begin to open up tremendously for you. You're not so easily fooled. You're not somehow blinded by your own ignorance, you see. And now seeing is opening more and more. The resistance will be loud for a while, but it will begin to subside as you become increasingly clear to your true position, you see.
But could you clarify on when I'm observing, it just feels different to when I have that experience. It just still feels...
Stop. Everyone says this. It's like you had an experience before, it felt, fantastic. Thereafter, you're looking for a replay. Every other experience don't quite match up to the first love. Something holds this idea in the mind. That was nice, Mooji, but it wasn't quite the same way. You see, the mind is copyrighted it. Yeah. See if you can get that again.
Yes.
Okay? I would like you to forget about that. Okay? Because your remembering of it is a bit sort of like inflated or looked at in a way that it's not serving you right now. So you can start from scratch again, just forget about all these things that you've retained as a beautiful spiritual experience that once happened. Just leave it aside for the moment. Be fresh. Don't keep relating to things of the past as though they are true now. If some people are good at it, they largely are in the past. And so now in the present, it's as though in the present moment, they are the past. They've given so much importance to thinking backwards that they're really fresh. You will talk to them and it takes time for them to just get to now. Because attention is located always in some nostalgic thought or something. So don't bother with that. Drop everything, be fresh. As though if I were to say to you, just stay empty. Don't pick up anything. Don't pick up any thought. Even a fantastic thought. Don't pick up anything for a moment. If I were to say this to you, don't touch anything for a moment. Even beautiful experience, beautiful visions, just leave everything for now. Let's try to start from just being empty. And it's not difficult, What I mean by that if you find that some thoughts are wanting to come in, or trying to make their way in, or something like this, you're aware of that, but don't get entangled in that. Just leave that. Isolate yourself from them. Don't hold on to any name or history of yourself. Just try to just be empty. It's not a trick. Everyone should at least be able to come to this. You're not carrying something, you're not a container of concepts. Leave everything alone. If you are successful at this, what is your state? Maybe the mind says, yeah, it feels nice, but it's not real. That's not reality. You see? And we are very prone to listen to these kind of little from the mind, these little pellets from the mind. And then you think, yeah, it's nice, but it's not what I'm looking for. And boom, you miss your chance. So don't pick up any suggestion or any commentary that comes from thought or your mind. Just suspend that for a moment. And just see what is here that is not requiring any effort by itself. Just like your breathing. Breathing is happening by itself. You don't have to say, look, I am breathing. No, breathing is happening by itself. What is here by itself that does not need any upkeep? No effort.
Just the presence.
The presence, yes. Presence meaning your natural way of knowing that you exist. You know you exist. If you don't add any history to that, then that sense of knowing is fresh and clean. You don't need past to know that. So the sense of presence, so even the sense of presence is perceived, meaning that you're aware of the sense of presence. Is true?
True.
Yeah. If you're aware of the sense of presence, there must be a deeper field in which the sense of presence is itself perceived. Have I gone too far? Give me some feedback. Don't let me feel like I'm talking to myself. I am talking to myself. But you know what I mean. So can I say with you that even
yes.
that subtlest perhaps, experience or sensing, the sense of presence, not the sense of person, the sense of presence, the sense of existence is also perceived. If I were to take one step further and ask you, if it is perceived, by what is it perceived? What is perceiving it? And I say, don't give it to your mind. The fact is already stated that that is perceived. So use that fact, but even the sense of presence, which is not a story, it's just a subtle intuition, the knowing of existence itself. If the existence itself is perceived, is there a perceiver of that existence that can be recognized phenomenally? This is open question. It's your question. It's my question to you. If what we say, that even the sense of presence, I'm not asking you now about the situation or any kind of scenario or what's going on in your mind. I'm asking that even the sense that you know that you are conscious and that you know that you exist is itself known. By what is it known? And I said, don't give this to your mind. The fact is already stated that there's awareness even of the subtlest of perception, which is the perception of the sense of presence. What knows the sense of presence? I don't want an answer, by the way, because if you give an answer, the answer you will also perceive. Okay? I'm just asking you to allow the question to search you. You being what? At this point of my talking, you would be what if you're following what I'm speaking? You who are aware even of the sense of existence. Can you be identified? Where is this act of perception that even the functioning of perception is perceived? Have I gone too far? Am I moving too fast? Okay, then be with me then. You know, no, that right now you're conscious. You are aware that you are conscious. I read a story. One man, he was driving his car. It was a stormy evening, and suddenly a tree fell down on his car while he's in it. And he became aware. He survived. That's why I'm speaking about this. He was there in the car, and the tree had come even through the window. He was trapped, pinned there. And he's reporting now, after he recovered. He said that I was there, and I thought nobody is going to find me here, because it's in the night. But somebody must have seen, and they called ambulance. The ambulance came, and he said, I could hear that somebody was asking me, I am here with you, what is your name, and things like this. But he was just struggling to answer. Then he hear all this machine trying to cut something. Then he said at some point, I noticed I'm losing consciousness. What notice? Losing of consciousness also. So I'm not asking for an answer, because any answer I'm going to reject, because an answer is just an answer. It's a kind of conceptual thing. I'm going deeper than answers here. I'm asking a question. The question is going to search you. You see? There is an awareness of your consciousness, the functioning dynamic consciousness, which the most pure of that consciousness is the intuition or the sense of being, that which is announcing itself in the body in the form I am. This I am voice or intuition, which is our natural, in fact it is our name. Before your parents gave you a name, this principle is there. It is the name of consciousness. I am. This everyone says, I am. But few understand what I am is, because very quickly we are conditioned to associate this natural intuitive sense with the body and with a name and with an environment. So the I am is just a vibration, a kind of knowingness, the unlearned way by which we recognize our existence. This vibration, I am. Okay? I am equating that with presence, conscious presence. But largely in the early part of our life, that intuitive sense, I am, gets associated with I am the body. I am a man, I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I'm English, I'm white, I'm black, I'm Jewish, I am blue. It is not that. In itself, it is not that. But it seems that some force in nature compels it to adopt the body as its self. I am this body, I am this person, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm English, I'm Japanese, I am this, I am that. So that subtle knowingness starts to, other thoughts begin to pour in on top of that. And the aggregate of all these impressions arise as the sense of a person. I am this kind of person. I am that kind of person. And because largely this is the currency, the conceptual currency of the whole world, we all act and interact on the basis, I am this person, you are that person, and so on. It was meant to be like that for a while. But gradually, the natural urge of consciousness is to grow beyond its limitations or perceived limitations. You have come here, you have not come here to study mechanics with me. You have not come here to do a course in yoga or to study some scientific subject. You have come to discover who fundamentally you are, not as an intellectual knowing, but to experience this, but not an experience which comes and goes. You must find that which is there before the comings and goings, and that which is not affected by coming and going. Therefore, when I ask, please leave these things for a while, you can do without them. Don't start to tell me your lineage and heritage and so on. No, that's okay. That you are a man or a woman is irrelevant for this, not important. That you speak English or, Swahili, that's not really important. That you understand what we are speaking, that's important for now. That you can use my guidance to somehow come to a recognition internally of what is really here, meaning an understanding that is, I would say, a non-dual understanding, which means that not one thing understanding another thing. So I don't know if it's called understanding. Revelation, maybe. A discovery, maybe. I would put this as, in my own feeling, the most significant, the most important, the most profound discovery possible in the human kingdom. For a human being to wake up out of the limited idea of ourself as just a person and to recognize our divine origin, our true nature, beyond imagination, beyond fantasy, through sober seeing and with the help of grace. Because I put it that because this is what we are, if this is what we are searching for, then all the benevolent forces of the universe must be ultimately in support of your awakening. It is not something you can purchase over the counter. If you are a trillionaire, your money will not be able to buy it. So what does it require? Some earnest urge within you. It may start as a curiosity, as an urge. And I say the urge must become urgent. Then from urgency to emergency. There's some people, no, I'm not leaving here. I'm not leaving here without knowing this. Even this is just a ploy. Because even here, the one who speaks is not the ultimate one. The discovery is so natural, so simple, so already so, but not recognized as it really is. This is the paradox of awakening, actually. That what you are ultimately discovering is the one thing that can never change. Everything else is changing, including the idea you have of who you are at any given moment. That is also not consistent, it is not fixed. So I've used your question, I've not targeted you directly because you have to give me a bit more, you have to come somehow, I don't know, but I've opened it up for everyone because it is, someone else may get it. Yeah. Someone else may benefit from your question more than you, I don't know.
Well, I would like to ask you if you could, I would leave all the obstacles which are
Please repeat again.
Any obstacles which are in a way, I just would like to...
Well, actually, to be honest, there are really no obstacles in the way. They are imagined obstacles in the way.
Okay.
There really are no truthful obstacles in the way. I'm taking a risk to tell you that ultimately there is not even a way. But maybe this is too early, but I don't expect results from saying that, okay? You will come to see. I say sometimes the truth as it is simple, but the seeker of truth is complex and keeps tripping over itself. You are more true as truth than you are as your present idea of yourself. But what's the use of telling you that? It's these things, because the mind wants to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all right. I say 0. But of course, I have to explain why I mean by this. Thankfully, I have the help of grace. I can't talk about what grace is. Grace is flowing in the heart of everyone who is open to it. It is enabling you to actually come to a recognition of what is being shared verbally also and energetically. It's doing that in ways that you're not even conscious about. If you have chosen it inside, I don't know anything at all, but I have a feeling, I have a certain sense, I have a feeling when I come here that I want to be more in this vibration. Please help me to remove whatever obstacles. I don't even know what the obstacles are. That prayer is being answered for you.
Okay. Thank you, Mooji.
As much as you can understand my words and connect with them, that is also working also. To deconstruct what is not true. I don't have to make what is true. When what is not true is exposed and wiped away, the truth is revealed somehow. But to who? we will find out.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Moojibaba.
Thank you for the moment. I know we're going to talk again at some point. You see, I'm looking, what am I looking around for? I don't know. I'm looking to see if but I get it wrong sometime. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you can call it wrong. You. Okay. Yes, you. Okay, let's hear now.
Since I'm here with the inquiry, I get blackouts. There's nothing, so I thought to bring it to you.
Yeah, let's start from there. You get blackouts. Blackouts are also noticed. I'm just saying. Mind doesn't look for blackouts. Okay? So even if blackouts or black hole happens, who witnesses a black hole? Something. Otherwise, there'll be no way to say that. Something expected did not happen, and something unexpected is revealed. There's something, mind blacks out, goes into a seizure. Why? Because something called yourself will feel, oh, it didn't work, my mind blacked out. You don't really need your mind actually that much. Even if mind blacked out or going to a seizure, there is an awareness of this. Who is getting this actually, by the way? Even if the mind blacks out, something is aware. Mind is blacked out. Okay? Is that the end of our search? Mind is blacked out? Is that not also another kind of mechanism, another kind of play? What is important is not that mind blacked out, but that there is an awareness of it. When mind blacks out, are you blacked out? Are you not there to say, mind is blacked out? But something is there also that's feeling that if mind blacks out, what can we do? That is also noticed.
Yes.
Yeah. So something goes, but what, blah, 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 blah. And that is taken to be significant.
Yes.
But that is also just another thing noticed. There's a whole queue of things that you could be noticing, yet none of them is fundamentally you. All are just clouds passing, including black hole even for you. Something is here that experiences these things, that perceive them. As yet, you don't realize the significance of this. We are still looking for results in the mind. The mind is trying to search for the truth, which is watched from the truth. But you are not aware of it. Nah, it can't be that simple, man. There are so many great books about it. You want something from your mind. You want a result from your mind. You want enlightenment for your mind. But you are the one who is here. Something is here. Maybe the you that is here is still somehow dressed in personhood. And it is saying, I want a relationship. Me and my mind is going to go to heaven together or something. But you, as the one who is looking, if you are still looking with personhood, you're going to keep on finding things to be entangled in, and the feeling that you didn't get it and it's not working, because your person you have not looked at. Your person has got to be another thing that you can look at also. At present, we are owning up the person and think that you're looking and that you can see the ultimate from your person. That's a snag. The person itself must be seen. in the form of the mind. When you feel, I've been trying, I've been meditating for so long and I just don't get anywhere and so on, who is speaking? I'll give you a clue. Can it be the pure self that is saying this thing? No. Can it be just the body that is saying these things?
Yes.
No. No. The body is only the instrument. It is not the sentient functioning. The body is just there. It is just a desktop. The body cannot say this thing. If we put a little needle, or maybe a certain kind of pill, or a little gas, okay, so that the conscious functioning is not there, if you went under anesthetic to remove a bad left leg, and the doctor come in a little drunk, and is removing the right leg, your body by itself is not going to say, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, you're doing the wrong leg. If the consciousness is not there, the body, nothing. You see? So it's not the body that is saying that. And it is not the pure, essential consciousness that is saying that. So what is speaking to say, I'm not getting very far, I'm practicing, I meditate every day, but I still don't get it? You must try to understand, to identify who is speaking that, because presently we are strongly identified with that voice. We are so used to it. We rarely question it, because you accept it as the fact of who you are, whereas it is seen here that that is the fiction of who you are. It is still connected, it is still the consciousness, but it is consciousness that is under the hypnosis of believing that it is a person. That's why I say that has to be, you have to wake up out of that state. And I'm showing you how. You are already the pure consciousness here, but you're not aware of it because you're more aware of yourself as the body-mind functioning. Whereas the body-mind functioning can become a thing that you observe to be also a functioning, watched from a place that cannot be recognized phenomenally. Is that too many words there? This change has to happen. This twist in consciousness has to happen, whereby the one who is saying, I shared with you last time we spoke that a great saint, Saint Francis of Assisi, once said, what you are looking for is already where you're looking from. I don't know who got it. What you are looking for something as an object, is already where you're looking from. Meaning that the one who is looking thinks that they're going to find something outside themselves, which is themselves. But they are already the self that they're looking for, but through the mind they make a mistake that it should be showing up as something they can recognize. So this paradox that seems confusing for a while, at some point is going to become clear for you. Clear for you. So, because of your persistence, because of your insistence, because of your urge in you for this, you will keep getting flashes or insights. And in those periods of insights, the person you take yourself to be is not there. And that's why you're so happy. When you are clear as to your true nature, you will still be able to function. If your name was Jane before, you're not going to be called Jane and be called Mahadevi or something. You can still you can talk with everybody and still you're the same, you understand that language, but you're seeing from a much more pure place. So all this, you're not swept away. The sense of being swept away, becoming confused or depressed, they become redundant concepts for you and experiences when seen from your true place. Where is your true place until you find it? Where is it? In some divine vault somewhere? Where is it? Until you find peace, where was it? Hiding somewhere in Goa? Where was it? On the day that you recognize, did you create what you recognize? At the moment, it seems that our sense of person is continuous. I say it is not actually. That which is continuous and unbroken is unrecognized. Why? Because the consciousness that you are has falsely come to believe itself to be the person, which is also consciousness, but very limited form of consciousness.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking for one who's going to go through today somehow. Can I speak with you? Speak with you? You come now. Mm-hmm. You want to say something? She's speaking right now. You speak Russian, but this lady is going to speak first. Okay? No, you sit down for a moment, please. We'll come to you. You speak for me.
I have to breathe.
You don't have to.
I'm a little bit blown up.
You are a little bit what?
Blown up.
What it means?
Like.
Yeah. Something you are experiencing also, something you are noticing also, a sensation which we assume will soon pass. Not worth giving too much attention to that. Clouds passing, clouds passing. Sensation, clouds passing. Thought, clouds passing. Feelings passing. Projections passing. Everything passing. What is not passing?
I feel that I don't want to be somebody. Like this is already enough. What is here?
What is here?
Life.
Yes.
Right now I'm quite empty. But I have this question. Whenever I'm just having some experience, whatever, it seems to be a little bit more special.
Could you say again the whole thing right there?
Like when I'm having some experience,
yes,
which feels a bit special. All is good until the mind comes and says, "Oh, maybe this is the one." like the special experience. And comes the judgment, like, oh, this arrogant mind think that it's gonna get enlightenment or something.
You started by saying when you are having a special experience. Like this, you said? Or,
Yeah.
yes. What makes the experience special for you?
Something that's more alive, or something that I haven't experienced before, some
Yes.
new insights.
Okay, okay.
But I don't know why I'm even talking about it right now. It sounds like nonsense.
Yeah.
I don't know who's talking, but
Yeah.
like literally lost. I can, man, like there's nobody talking. It's just my previous thoughts are talking. Like I had them there. Like I'm gonna ask this thing, and now I have these memories, and the memories are talking, but it's not nobody talking.
It's true. I'm very okay with that. No, with that. I mean, it is an insight that does come. No, that at some point something is just kind of talking, but there's not really a true connection with that. It's just kind of something rolling. So where are you in this? Actually, there. You are what in this?
I'm me. It's empty.
It's empty.
And opened to everything right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
And I'm just talking because there's a microphone in front of me.
When you were sitting down, you put your hand up. What was happening there?
Anxiety.
Anxiety?
Yeah. Shaking. My body was shaking.
Shaking, yeah. Which meant what?
That I have to speak or something.
Sometimes if you're sitting and, the body's shaking and stuff, and I say, what's happening? What does it mean? It just means body shaking. The mind wants to give it something more and say, well, it's shaking because of this and this and this. And again, we have a lot of automatic talking that happens, which are not consistent with what is really present here. You are giving an indication of that actually just my mind is talking, or some old idea, or an intention to say something has come up and is going, but I'm aware that that is not me. It's not carrying what I am. I am just here. Well, I would put that as a very important recognition. And especially it becomes intensely recognized the more you sit with it and keep looking like that, you see. Or if some thought is coming and in your mind, you should do this, and maybe tomorrow you need to go and do this thing and so on, try and look at who is it speaking to? Who are these thoughts speaking to? And just be quiet and look, and you will see. Don't be quick. Don't ask your mind to answer that question. Who is it speaking to? It must be speaking to some identity you're holding on to. When I say it's speaking to the idea you have of who you take yourself to be. Can this voice be intimidating or talking to a deeper place in you, which is just empty? Can it be speaking to the emptiness? The more you come to this place, which I'm calling emptiness, because it's not carrying a bundle of concepts to see which one I can use in this situation. It is totally empty, and your responses come totally spontaneously. you grow more and more to meet life in this spontaneity, this freshness, unafraid, actually.
I don't know who you're talking to right now. So I can't understand right now.
If I ask you, could you go and get me a cup of tea, would you understand that?
Yeah.
You can understand. Just functioning also. You don't have to be somebody particular to go and get a cup of tea. Everything happens naturally. You don't have to. The trouble comes when we try and talk about this, especially with someone you want to impress. Big trouble comes. But if you just stay as you are, you can function and do the things that needs to be done. You don't have to be a recluse or something. You can. There's some actions that need to happen through this body, and this deep knowing in you is not in conflict with that. So whatever this body is made to be doing and so on, that can happen. Your interactions with other beings, that can happen. It doesn't cause any. In fact, there's a joy in that even. Although you're not searching for joy in anything, you come to that silence. Don't feel that because you come to this place of emptiness, you can't do anything and it is just some awakened tomato or something. You can do everything. I am doing everything that needs to be done. It does not interfere. I don't have to say, I suspend life in order to be awake. No, I and life are one also. And yet I don't feel deeply that I'm doing anything at all. The most profound thing is that you know you are. But what precisely you are, there's not even something to define to others. From time to time, a deep introspection may happen, and the seeing may arise out of that, much more profound, just like that.
I've been seeing here this thought coming a couple of times, which I talked about before, that the thought thinks, oh, something special is happening. And I see it can limit.
You know what? If you don't touch the idea of special, then the functioning of your intelligence will just do what it needs to do. Maybe in your mind it says special and it goes, whoops, not special, boom, 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 whatever. All these things, you will gradually, naturally come to not take to be of any, you will not be so easily caught by them. You can just not worry about that. At the moment, maybe we give too much attention to the mind's reactions to things. All this will slowly find its right balance. We don't have to be talking more about that. If you can follow what I'm speaking, this thing, and you can see internally, pleasantly, it's enough. And then your seeing and being, they become one. It's like that. They are one. I don't have a lot of things to tell you, lots and lots of things to remember, because I can't remember them anyway. So I don't want to tell you things, remember this, remember that, remember this. I don't speak like that. I just point to something. I just point to it, and you should be able to see it. You may see that something keeps getting in the way of your seeing of it. We can talk about that. But my I don't even really like to call it teachings even. If you ask me, how do I get to, to Rishikesh town? I tell you, you just go here and to go down to the end of the road, turn left, go over the bridge, and you're there. If you say, you come with a book to study how to do it, I said, no, I don't need to study. Come and walk with you. Look, it's here. I prefer to talk to you like this. Show me. Yeah, okay. Oh, thank you. You can get it. We don't need to go into any deep philosophy about it. Because where in what direction can I point for where the self is? Which is the most, which direction? Which direction is the self? Is it more east? More east. Where is it? Or what direction can I point where it's not? Same thing. Maybe the mind wants to perceive it in a special kind of like way, but I'm a very down-to-earth guy. I am telling you, I see the difficulty because I also experience difficulty. I'm happy for that. So when we seem to be experiencing difficulty, I can see what's going on a little bit, at least a little bit, no? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I speak with you.
Well, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
For selecting me. I'm following you for more than 1 year, and I'm doing all these practices of meditation for like more than 10 years. And I heard about Ramana Maharshi before because I'm follower of Osho, and for last 3 years I'm doing meditation a lot. A lot means a lot. I mean, my day does not pass without meditation.
Aye.
I have few experiences that I want to share.
Yeah.
Some people say, like for example, Meher Baba and some other people.
Sorry?
Meher Baba.
Meher Baba.
Meher Baba. And few others said that near 6th chakra or 7th chakra, after that only the grace of master can help you or something like that. And for last almost 2 years, I'm somewhere here, and I feel like something opening and closing and all that, something circling here, and sometime when this opens up, the 6th chakra, I'm still. I know that I'm here, and as you have said that you are the emptiness inside. I know that I'm the emptiness inside, but what is it that I feel that I'm not inside, I'm sometimes outside? Because this emptiness, this is here, I know I'm here, but this is being observed that you say all the time. The question that you said that what is being, you are, whatever you are, is being also observed. So sometimes I feel I'm not inside.
I don't say what you are is being observed in some phenomenal way,
Okay.
not observed as in a subject observing an object,
Okay.
not in that kind of duality.
Okay.
Can I say also, and I want your attention because my intention is that you wake up, So don't drift off and then ask me to repeat something. I'd rather catch your attention, and the one who is with that, I see no reason why you will not catch my pointing. Okay? So I said with you like that, no? That you say emptiness. And sometimes from the mind we can feel that, well, my emptiness. As though emptiness is yours, and it is as far as your fingertips, as high as your head. And that is emptiness. I don't know how each person is perceiving. When I speak of emptiness, it cannot be defined in terms of the proportions of one's body or even one's thinking, So it takes a deeper sense to understand that. You say, I've been meditating, I'm experiencing some opening. You've learned the language about chakras and so on. Okay, these things are observing. But you say, but I know that I'm here. So, what is more real? The opening of chakra energies or the one who is aware of them?
The one who is knowing it
Yes.
happening.
Okay. The one who is perceiving, can I come like that? That which is perceiving, in whose presence, in whose orbit, whatever it is that comes through the senses or the mind, from any zone of time, such as past or future or present, all these things are noticed by it. Does it want anything?
No, it does not want anything.
Does it meditate?
Truth is, it doesn't meditate. It's there.
Does it not happen that the meditator, the act of meditation, the intended goal of meditation is perceived by it and in it?
Yes.
Is not the meditation, the intention of the meditation to reach the one who perceives it?
Please come back again.
Is not the very intention of the meditator, the very act of meditation, the goal of meditation to reach that which perceives the intention of the meditation? The meditator also? Will there be a meditator who comes away with the boon of the supreme state?
No. He does not come. He is not there after that.
That which we are referring to, that, does that benefit from anybody's meditation?
At least whoever meditating is gone now, so by that sense, yes.
Yes. If the meditator disappears in his meditation, what perceive it?
I perceive it.
And I being what? Don't just go into words now, because I'm really with you on that one.
Yes.
And this I is what? That witness the success of meditation, or the failure of meditation, or the need to increase a certain kind of thing in meditation. Are that not perceived? Will that not be assessed from this place? The sense of a failure to meditate and that? Does any of these things affect that where seeing is arising from itself? Does it know anything apart from itself to reach itself?
No. Well, sometimes, like for example, this is one of the meditation I do most of the time. When I sleep, Osho said, and also in Gita, Krishna Bhagavan said, that when you sleep, there is something which is always awake, who is knowing that sleep is happening.
Yes.
So gradually I take the sleep on my body, and sometimes I hear the voices happening around me. Sometimes someone is coming in the room, going in the room. Sleep is not disturbed. The body is lying, and I know that the body is lying. The things are happening. When I wake up, yes, this state is there for some time to live. But then in worldly things, for example, I'm studying. I like to study, but then I lose it, whatever I am. I lose it by the time I'm studying. I'm lost in the concepts of the book. And then at that moment, I'm not there.
So is that which you are referring to as that high state,
Yes.
does that within itself fluctuate?
No, the mind takes place. I mean, the person comes here and starts studying.
Can the mind create any alteration in that? Which itself is the ground of the mind, the source from where the mind itself has come? Isn't the functioning of what you call mind also perceived?
Yes, it is perceived.
If it is perceived, does it not indicate that at the place where the mind itself, in all of its capacity and potential of expression, that is perceived there? That which perceives the mind and its potential to diversify its expression, is that less than mind?
Is that less than?
Mind?
No.
can it be affected by the movement of mind?
No. Okay. It means by the time studying, the mind creates of the true self, which is actually false self. In that moment,
Yes,
maybe it does that.
For whom does it do it?
Okay.
Is that original place confused by the mind's antics?
No, the mind is itself confused by its antics.
Yes. And who cares about it? I'm
True.
just asking.
Yes, I am affected. I mean, the mind is
Okay.
affected. Yes.
So make a distinction for me. These are
Yes.
you and mind are the same thing. You and mind presently are the same thing.
No.
You and the source, that substratum place, are different. Don't give me an agreeable answer. Just search with it and look.
The mind is different. I am here. I mean, the mind is part of me when I'm broken or I'm divided, or I can say when I'm involved in something,
Yeah.
not totally, then it starts creating
you
road
who
stories.
can be divided, can you be that which is indivisible? Can we agree that there is something that is indivisible?
Okay, understand it.
I'm just asking.
Yes.
Can we agree? Can we feel with any certitude that there is something that is unsplittable, indivisible, uncreated? Do you have the authority to say that? That there is something that you don't know how you come to know, but you stand firm that this is imperishable, uncreated, unborn. Do anybody here feel that you have the authority to say that such a thing is true and truth? Or that has to be clarified in some laboratory or something? What is it?
No. Yes, I know it. I feel it. I am it. I know it.
I am it. I am it always?
When I myself, it means the mind projects itself to be something
Yeah.
which is it is not.
It is true.
That's why, yes.
But the mind's projection can be only significant for who?
For itself.
Let's break it down a little bit. It has to be that from the very root itself, the earliest and purest manifestation from that pure place is what we may call the consciousness or the conscious presence. That which is the seed out of which the world of names and forms and titles can come. That witnessing consciousness. I call that also a functioning, by the way. Are you with me? I can repeat this one.
Understand it.
Okay? Of the pure awareness, we cannot apportion to the pure awareness any kind of quality or anything that fluctuates. You must come to the realm of the mind, consciousness, duality, for duality to be functioning. Can I speak like this? Can we continue with this? It's short. So, the place in which knowingness, dualistic functioning, one thing knowing another thing, must come into the realm where duality is manifested. Earlier than this duality, there cannot be any talked about functioning and stuff like this. It's that pure place, pure space. Where is that pure space? Because sometimes we can confess it is infinite, mean that it is everywhere present, that it is limitless. Or should I not use these words because we cannot confirm? Can you confirm or not?
I can confirm about myself that I'm here.
Yes. And I'm asking now, you who are aware of the limitlessness, now speak of limits, okay? of limit. Who are you as you speak about this now? We can slow down, because I think we are drying up our questions now.
Okay. I'm the one who is present.
As what?
As existential. Here, that's it.
Yeah. So this existing one
Yes.
is in search of something.
No. I know myself, that's it. I'm here.
Okay. Can we stop there for a moment then?
Yes.
If I am not in search of something, am I left in a state of completeness, or is something missing?
No, I'm complete. Nothing is missing. Yes.
What is the intention of meditation for you?
All the dirt that I create for myself. All the dirt.
Is the dirt that you create for yourself real? Is the you that the dirt seems to be attached into? Is that real from the place of speaking?
No. Self-created.
For what purpose?
How can I say?
Yeah, I know.
It's purposeless, actually.
I'm sorry to ask you these questions a little bit,
No,
but I'm not, you know?
Yes.
Okay. There is something that seems to be active in us to try and to kind of compartmentalize and to, you know?
Yes.
But that is also noticed.
Yes.
Is there a need or a compulsion to identify with that functioning?
No, not at all.
Okay. When you don't identify, or when there's no identifying with that tendency to create something and to if one does not join that by identifying with it, what is the fruit of that function?
There is no fruit. I mean, I'm not involved in that. If that is happening, it's happening. Then no fruit for me from that place.
If something is happening and you're not interested, you're not involved,
Yes.
is anything happening really significantly?
It's just occurring. Nothing is happening actually. It's just occurring.
Yeah.
I'm just witnessing.
Yeah. Actually, it seems like until or unless the mind says something is happening, experientially, nothing is registered as happening. It's just the way it appears, like it works like that.
Yes.
In a sense, because as long as the body is here and the vital force is in it and consciousness is there, some production is going on.
Okay.
Isn't it? The tendency for thought and so on. And that because you're not dead, you're a living being and it's a living body, the thought activities were present, but as soon as it is clear unto yourself that you are the effortless witness of this, you are sinless, karmaless, if once this is clear, this activity of the body-mind is turned to the benefit of the manifestation. It takes the form, it reforms itself as the fruit of the expression of compassion, of love, of wisdom, of joy. It becomes the embodiment of the Supreme, a facet of that Supreme, and it showers blessings in the world, so to speak. Even knowing that the world ultimately is it's kind of illusory in a way, but it is also divine. Something sees that. By divine, I mean that it doesn't exist as a thing unto itself. It is the play, or sometimes I refer to it as the activity inside the theater of consciousness. I say theater of consciousness, meaning the functioning of perception, as thisness and thatness and you and me and high and low and heaven and hell and king and queen and blah, 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 all of this play of existence, which we are meant to taste, and at the same time knowing that nothing is happening actually from the place of from the true place. This is why this paradoxical talking comes sometimes out of the mouth of mature Sangha, when they say, yes, I'm going, but I'm not going. I'm active, yet I'm not doing anything. There's movement, but I'm unmoving. So to the ordinary man, this kind of sounds, oh, what are you saying? You're either going or you're not going. So therefore, this language, in its wisdom and its compassion, it knows exactly how to speak to each one without looking into their background. It happens so spontaneously. But whether it says, I'm going down the road and so on, or whatever it is, internally, the understanding is there that it's not moving. It doesn't even have to say that, actually. It doesn't have to say anything at all. It's just the way it is. When it says something, it is because it feels a joy in communicating and to spread light where light is needed about something. That's all. Otherwise, it's so natural. It's effortlessly itself. And it is the same for everyone. And its perfume, I use the word, its perfume, I say, is peace and joy, equanimity, total serenity, compassion, love, openness, unselfishness. It's fearless. These are the perfume arising from there. But the thing out of which the perfume is coming, nobody can find him, can touch him. You can only be, you cannot hold, cannot contain.
Right. Understand. And just last thing, do I really need to take care of or just give attention to all these things happening? Or they just happen for themselves and then they...
Let them happen by themselves.
Okay.
I would rather encourage you stay in the non-happening place,
okay,
without trying to stay in the non-happening place.
Okay.
Just something is aware here, that all these things, they seem to take place, but something wants to give a greater significance to that. If by themselves, left unto themselves to manifest whatever they want to do, they bring about some alteration in the dynamic field of consciousness, it is fine. That is fine. But they're not being pushed, they're not being, sort of like intention for something to happen, or waiting for some outcome of these movements in order to say, okay, now I am better or not. Yes. That stillness, you see, unqualified, unmanipulatable, that is the source self. We talk like that, about it like that, as though we are talking about an object, but it is not an object. I won't even call it the subject even. Beyond subject and object, it is there. I say beyond, but I don't mean beyond in terms of distance or direction. I mean beyond in subtlety. It is the subtlest of all. All other subtleties come out of it. All other experiences come out of it. All other states come out of it. But it doesn't come out of anything.
Yes.
And it is not it other than you. But I don't want to turn these things into teachings and people learn them and talk about them. It is for the one at this table, what we serve, we eat.
Understand. Thank you.
Does it create any confusion in you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Thank you.
I needed to come here. Thank you.
I enjoy to speak with someone like you, in fact.
Jesus. I was waiting for, there was a Gujarat agitation just ended a few days before in Rajasthan. I wanted to come, but could not come because all the highways were blocked. So, and my paper are there on 5th March. But still I said, no, I have to meet Mooji because then you will be leaving India. Why don't you stay longer here? I mean, seriously, I mean, there are people like me are better than me who need you, seriously, please. I mean, no offensive comment on anyone, but people outside India, you know, they have enough money to come and go anywhere. But person like me, who's so tight on money, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have taken money from my father to come and visit you. So I feel really bad for it. But
I have to say myself that, you know, I was saying just yesterday how much joy it is to be in India and to, you know, have conversations with the beings who come to Satsang who are from India, because for some reason you just get it much more easily. Why? Why? Maybe because of this tradition of bhakti in India, I don't know.
Yes.
It just overrides arrogance and the necessary soil of humility and openness, because even people who come from a very strong bhakti background are so perfectly placed for jnana yoga, for this perfect understanding.
I'm lucky enough actually, because when I was child, I used to ask my brother, I was that time maybe 7 to 8 years old, that what is he doing? Swami Kananda's photo. What is he doing? He said he's meditating. I asked him how and why, and he said he's just meditating to see, you know, be the God, and he's meditating on third eye and all that. I said, really? I said that time in that age, I did not get anything. I had a headache. That's a different thing. But I had a chance. And many times in my family, because we are like spiritual family, and my one cousin brother in Russia, he might be seeing this today. So I used to talk for 2 to 3 hours every single day. And he had his master's degree in yoga. He read all the Veda and all that. We always had 2 to 3 hours of spiritual conversation. And he just cleared my mind so many times. I always went to with him, okay, Manish Bhaiya, this is the problem, that is the problem. And he just would come such a solution that I am again empty. I had no option to ask him another question. And few days later, again I will go with some questions. Again he was, so I was lucky enough. Yeah, yes, so that's why I'm saying that people better than me, they really need you. How many like you people are there in world? Very few. So you should stay. These people can come. They can travel. They can travel, they have money. But I don't have money. And many people don't have money.
Yeah.
Okay.
The food is too spicy. I'm just joking. But I hear you, and I have to say that we thoroughly enjoy our time always here, because
Yes.
I'm here for nothing other than this, you know?
Yes.
And to meet beings who can really not argue, not just argue, but can really look together, because it's such a joy to look together and to come to this opening. This morning I was coming in, I'm sure that through the window I glanced Babaji here, who came to see me a few days ago with his entire family. And if he doesn't mind me saying that, he had come and he had some challenges with the hernia that was really causing some problem, you know? And so he came for operation actually, and he had brought his family up, his wife, his 2 daughters, and their two children. They come to the house. It was already a full day for us, and he came and he said, he always taught his children and his family, you know, you go and go to satsang. Even I go to operation, you go to satsang. No? And he was already, they shaved his belly and everything to do operation. And his daughter said, for some reason, the hernia is not showing itself at the moment. Okay? What is the point of doing this operation now when he could go to satsang?
Okay.
Only in India you hear this kind of stuff, okay? And the doctor said, okay.
Right.
Okay? And he came to the house and we sat, and he said, I've been meditating and studying spirituality for a very, very long time. And then I discovered you some years ago. I'm following your pointings and so on, but I have to confess, I don't get it. I said, okay, let's take a look how you do. And we just got talking, just talking, and Babaji came all the way through. All the way through. I don't know if Babaji is here. I think I saw him. You know. He came through into seeing, and I test him, you know. Test him. He said, what about if you wake up in the morning and it's kind of like, you know? He said, no, it can't happen like that. Because the seeing was so clear. It was not an attitude. It was not a belief. It was clear seeing, you see. And thereafter, I spoke with Mataji. She said, I don't speak any English, but I really feel like you're my mother. I'm talking with you, blah, blah, blah. The daughters came. They also are very highly ready. We had beautiful conversation. Then the little boy, I don't know how old he is, 8 years old. He came and says, can I ask a question? And he sat in that chair. He looked to me like the boy J. Krishnamurti. He looked exactly like him. I hope they don't mind me saying that. He sat very composed and he asked intelligent questions of me that we could speak like this. I said, I really enjoy speaking with you. Then finally, another sister came and sat, and we had beautiful conversations. Yes. Conversations which are not passing time.
Yes.
They became timeless.
Yes.
And this is why I say that I have so much love and respect for this country and the people there, because I see that, yes, my conversations, they happen so much more receptively. We're not struggling and fighting over concepts. It's like something is ready just to drop inside. Yes. For many people, now I cannot say for everybody, of course. Yes. And of course, in many Western people, it is the same also for many of them. For many of them. They have revived, in fact, and restored a lot of, like sometimes people say, no, the Western culture, they are just dying, blah, blah, blah. But many are here. People, and they are discovering, they are also waking up to the same thing, But there's something here that it just feels I'm at home in this kind of way. Yes. And speaking like this with you, and I'm sure there are many others, it just really validates that sense that I have in me.
Yes.
So
hopefully next year I will bring my wife also. I'm teaching the same teachings of yours to her so that I can prepare her. She's meditating a lot now. She never meditated her whole life. But I said, I will eat only when you meditate. So she meditates for 5 minutes. She meditates for 5 minutes and she says, her face is like, oh my God, she's like still like a lake. And I said, just do it. Why don't you do it?
Yeah.
And then again the mind comes and, okay, this is the reason, that is the reason. I said, leave it, drop it. And she does that. And then it's becoming, so next year when I will come, she will come with me also.
Okay. In the meantime.
Yes, sir.
You can also bring, because the invitation that we play in the day, it is available for you.
Yes.
You can just take it and sit with it and just sit, because it's not trying to, we're not trying to hypnotize you. I mean,
yes.
It's simply speaking into you consciously, and you're just avoiding the pitfalls, so to speak, of the habits of the mind to then create diversions and, fragmentation inside. And you just right through, it just come back to you where you are. It doesn't create it, it just reveals, but I'm here. And it's very simple, because thereafter, of course, sometimes the mind comes, but increasingly you're able to see that this mind coming and going,
yes,
it's really not that important. It's not mind coming and going, it's the attention given to it. And the more that you are discovering your natural state, the more established you are in that, the less influence is coming from the mind.
Yes.
It really is cutting the virility of this
Yes.
type of, very rajasic and tamasic tendencies in the mind.
True.
So I hope you take away the essence of what we share today.
Yes, sir.
And just look, because as long as there's intention, even to meditate and to do something, you know, it can be one step out of what you already
Yes.
are. You see?
Yes, I understand.
Yet at the same time, I don't want someone, there's a difference between thinking you've got it
Yes.
and being it.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause sometimes we think, especially I believe in our way, system of education, we can think that what we have learned mentally is what we know. And in here, through our interaction and like this, you come to somehow, it's experiential, and so the old patterns are dissolving in your seeing. You see?
Yes.
You're left as just the imageless.
Yes.
One. You don't have to say that, you don't have to try and share that. Even if you could not speak about it, you'll find that the world, life is responding to the presence that is there.
Yes. And last thing, just when you leave, please, can I hug you by the time you leave, so that your time is not wasted here. When you leave the stage, can I hug you?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
One request. Please stay 6 months in India and 6 months abroad. A national here and 6 months here in India, so that people can come here. There's not much moving for. You have to move from place to place. That won't happen. We'll be here and we will come.
Thank you. Huh? They will import the food from the West. I'm quite enjoying the Indian food actually at the moment. Hot going in, hot coming out. It's only a little letter here. It says, "Hi Muji, can you please let me know how does one carry on living when you have no more strength to do so because one feels so defeated by life?" Again, please let me know, how does one carry on living when you have no more strength to do so because one feels so defeated by life? You're not defeated by life. You may feel defeated by your mind, not by life. As soon as your true seeing recovers, you will make your world beautiful. Not by going and decorating it, just by the power of your own heart and seeing. When you have tried everything humanely and spiritually possible, but nothing turns better. I don't believe this statement. When you have tried everything humanely and spiritually possible, but nothing turns better, something is not understood. Something is not understood. And you don't know when or how to get the money to carry on living in this world, and wish that the life force within you will just give up on you. You're wishing that the life force within you will just give up on you. This is that you signed Sally. So here is someone who's saying, can you please let me know, how does one carry on living when you have no more strength to do so because one feels so defeated by life? I spoke about these energies. There are certain forces working within the human expression of consciousness. This duality, there are certain forces that are more carnally oriented, that is in direct opposition or resistance to the evolution of consciousness back to its source, you know. It is designed like that in the theater of consciousness, because as I said before, it is like, if I can put it in this way, it is as though consciousness has created or devised the sense of a problem in order to have the experience of transcending it. I feel that this life of existence, we call existence, is really a play of transcending, evolving, growing, transcending. Transcending because we are equipped with the power of discernment, which when rightly guided is plenty enough to transcend the lower forces that create fragmentation of our attention and seem to function to keep our mind and our energy focused on only mundane things and on our physical existence. And yet the higher force within us is to bring you back to your original nature. So these forces. So when I read this letter, how does one carry on living when you know you have no more strength to do so because one feels so defeated by life? Sometimes it is based upon the wrong idea of self that needs to do everything to make it in life and to do all these things, but as yet has not considered that life could be also about to be happy and at peace and to be at one with existence. You know, that perhaps sometime is not been given, not been presented as real virtues anymore. The virtues have become to make money and to have this and sometimes more selfish. And if we live life like that, we do live a life of selfishness. It has been said in the past, we grew up, that the opposite of love was hate. But one comes to see sometimes maybe the opposite of love is selfishness. And selfishness is one of the characteristics of an egoic identity. Because selfishness cuts you off from the wider harmony that is integral with life, you know? So I wonder, then you go on to say, Sally, when you have tried everything humanely and spiritually possible, but nothing turns better, I don't know where you're getting your spiritual direction and assistance from. Because you use the word spiritual, that is not to do about your ego, but to redirect your attention to the deeper truths within yourself. If you have been finding that, you could not have written a statement like that to say that when you have tried everything humanely and spiritually possible, but nothing turns better. That is to do with an outlook. Sometimes we can have a kind of like a bit of a fixed mindset, and that whatever is shown to you, it's almost like you decide you're going to disagree with it. I've met people like this. It's like their mind has been closed, and no matter what you do, you just can't get in, you know? And they're holding on to this, and they're holding on to this, and then of course, who do you hurt? You hurt first yourself. You may not think you have, but you cut yourself off from the oxygen of expansiveness, of natural growth. So I would say beware of that, you know. And I would welcome such a person. Please come to Satsang. I want to talk with you. I would like to talk with you face to face. Because all the things that you say here, I'm going to show you, they are not true. They're only existing as thoughts that you believe in, and it cuts you off in a way. It's like a valve closes behind these thoughts, and you're not getting the right instruction, you're not being guided rightly. If you are really open, and you must be open to write me a letter like this, and you're watching satsangs, if you're really open, I want to meet someone like you. Because when I hear this, it really hurts my heart, but knowing who you really are. I don't have to go to your parents to know about you. I know already who you are because I know who I am. And I don't see no difference. So with this conversation, we can move these things out of the way. No problem. You see? And then it goes on, and you don't know when or how to get money to carry on living in this world. It's almost as though you appear to be cut off from grace. And I know this is not true. Because life, God, has put in your orbit, every being, certain clues that you must use your discerning powers enough to recognize these clues. And each time you recognize these clues, somehow something falls away from you, and it brings you near. We have to learn little by little bit to strengthen our discerning power so that you can defeat these lower energies, transcend them with higher understanding and knowledge, no? And you don't know when and how to get the money to carry on living in this world, and wish that the life force within you just gives up on you. The life force never gives up on you. It goes until its allotted time. When it is due to cut the power, it cuts the power, but not as punishment. It doesn't cut the power, it is in alignment with your destiny. You see? It doesn't have these, and nothing that God does is vindictive. That alone man do. But the actions that come from the universe, they are more corrective than they are vindictive. So nothing in life is against you. You just have got the wrong understanding in your mind. And that can change. Because you are greater than your mind. The mind is something that's always changing. You must find the thing which is not changing. When you find the thing which is not changing, the mind will pranam there. The great opportunity for each one is to move in the direction of liberation. Something causes you to be here. Maybe your parents don't come, maybe your children don't come, maybe your friends don't come. Don't worry, you're here. Your realization of the truth, is bound to affect them on some level. Though you're not doing it for that necessarily. It's important to be focused and discover as much as you can. And I remind you, all the true forces in the world is on your side. You may not feel like that because we have been so much creating and developing a relationship with the mind in a psychological aspect that somehow it's as though our minds are confused and cluttered with so much conceptual noise and so on. But I want to tell you something. Just like if you have a diamond and it falls in the mud, you may not see it. But the mud cannot contaminate it. You just have to wash off the mud. If the diamond is in the mud for 1,000 years, it still cannot penetrate it. It cannot lessen what it is. So I'm using this diamond as a metaphor for what we are. It's not the greatest example, but though it appears as though the mind can contaminate the heart, it cannot do it. It can only somehow play this contamination inside the theater of consciousness, where we, as the pure consciousness, for a time, are wearing the mask of personhood. And even in the mask of personhood, our powers is still there. If we are humble, if whatever, somehow some opening come. Life squeezes you, things happen in life, tragedies come. All these things are rich spiritual foods because they help us to stop dreaming our life and to really push us, compel us to look more deeply. You don't need to know how it happened, but it happens. And each thing must have contributed to this moment that you are sitting here today. One moment, one day, we wake up out of this sleep of ignorance. We think this is my life. This is just what my life. But you are life. And at the same time, the unfolding expressions of life are visible to you at a deeper level. Satsang is here to help us to come to that recognition, experientially, not theoretically, not as, some, holy cluster of concepts that you've got to keep, but as your experiential truth and proof. So my encouragement, it is great. We're here together, discovering together. A tremendous force is here supporting your self-discovery. I don't feel that you need to leave here with only a theoretical understanding of what I'm speaking. Here is the discovering place. You have to discover, to recognize, you see? Not just to kind of learn, but to recognize. That is direct, you see? And if at the moment you think, oh, I just don't get it, don't worry. Don't worry. It will get you. You don't worry. You think, oh, I don't know what to do. It's mind again. You sit quietly, be open, be aware that there are forces, blessing, grace is with you if your heart is open. Don't cling to any mindset, because none of that is going to serve you. Be very open. Your life must become miraculous. It is already, but it must begin to feel miraculous to you. Why? Because as soon as you are discovering the truth of yourself, you see that miracles are everywhere around you. Miracle means what? Grace, peace, things that you think, oh, I'm never going to be able to do this, they happen beautifully. Things come unexpected. Then you come to know, wait a second, this universe is not created at the mercy of my mind. I said something that seemed very paradoxical. I said the world is not what you think it is. The world becomes exactly what you think it is. It is not what you think it is, but you become to experience it in the way that you think it is. Okay, thank you for today, and God bless you, and whatever forces may come up to feel like you're under attack and you're not ready and it's too hard and stuff. Just trust what I'm saying and just stay with it, because like Rumi say, the one who brought me here must take me home. Whatever brought you here, trust it. Don't trust your mind projection, your techniques. They're not going to help you so much. That which brought you here must take you home. And where is home? Where is home? It's not necessarily a physical place. It means back to the heart of who you are. That's all I mean by home. Okay? So, thank you. While those who are going to come to play some music prepare themselves, I want to read just a few words I'm enjoying at the moment, a few words from Ashtavakra Gita. And we are going to remember that actually the Ashtavakra, these are not so much teachings. He's not teaching students so much. I say that they're the kind of spontaneous utterances that manifest spontaneously out of the sage's bliss and joy, He's speaking like this. He speaks, my own splendor, it says. With the pincers of truth, I have plucked from the dark corners of my heart the thorn of many judgments. I sit in my own splendor. Wealth or pleasure, duty or discrimination, duality or non-duality, what are they to me? What is yesterday, tomorrow, or even today? What is space or eternity? I sit inside my own splendor. What is the self or the non-self? What is thinking or not thinking? What is good or evil? I sit inside my own splendor. I sit in my own radiance and I have no fear. Waking, dreaming, sleeping, what are they to me? Or even ecstasy? What is far or near, outside or inside, gross or subtle? I sit inside my own splendor. Dissolving the mind, or the highest meditation, the world and all its workings, life or death, what are they to me? I sit inside my own radiance. Why talk of wisdom, or the three ends of life, or even oneness? Why talk of these? Now I live inside my heart.
Out of the worries, out of the fear, we're closing our hearts to what is real. We're trying to fulfill the projections of the past. We're pulling the curtains, the missing light. Same old story, no trust in life. We're pursuing something that will last. Stop planning the life so much ahead of the time, and enjoy every moment here and now. Because life is a joy, life is a game, a divine dream, a beautiful play, unfolding every moment in front of your eyes. When you ask nothing, you receive it all. When you keep quiet, it will open the door. And then the silence might speak from its source. But I have to warn you, it's a duty of mine that you disappear into greater I. But there is no regrets for the highest force. Stop planning the life so much ahead of the time, and enjoy every moment here and now. Because life is a joy, life is a game, a divine dream, a beautiful play, unfolding every moment in front of your eyes. When you stop planning the life so much ahead of the time, you may find a little space to discover who you are. And if it should end right now, it'd be totally fine. because contentment, peace and love remain. Stop planning the life so much ahead of the time and enjoy every moment here and now, because life is a joy, life is a game, a divine dream, a beautiful play, unfolding every moment in front of your eyes. Stop planning the life so much ahead of the time and enjoy every moment here and now, because life is a joy, life is a game, a divine dream, a beautiful play, unfolding every moment in front of your eyes, in front of your eyes.
And inside your heart,
Very nice. You know, when I take the chance to look at you, and I wish I could have time with each one, you know. And it's not physically possible in that way, but it's possible in another way. Because if you really just keep following the pointing, even though it may not feel so easy at first, and it doesn't feel easy for many people because we're just not, it's not our habit to look at ourselves in this way. But what I'm sharing with you, I did not originate. It's a very tested and sure way. It's not a formula. It's more like a friend, a light that comes to remove the seeming impediments that seem to get into the way of revealing the richness and the fullness, the completeness and the perfectness of our true nature. And if you follow this, be patient with it. I would put it as the most important opportunity, because it cures our mind from delusion. As you discover, and you will discover. I read a letter today, of someone who seemed to feel like, no, in spite of everything I've done, my life has not improved. This is a very poor thing. And immediately something wants to say, to catch hold of you and to say, come. I'm going to show you, I'm going to see where the mistake, where the misconception is. We have to remove that so you come back to your life as it can be. So I started by saying when I see you, and often, I look and I see, I would love to have this time also. At the feet of Papaji also, I cannot say that there were beings who had the good privilege and good fortune to work next to him and to look after him, look after his farm and so on. I was not one of them. And I even said that if I was, I wouldn't be good at it. But then people say, but you say, Papaji said to me, and and I said, of course. Because what was spoken, even though I was sitting in a group like this, it went right to me. I have to confess, it said to me. When I read the gospel and I hear what Jesus spoke, and I hear he spoke to me. If I read a verse from the Holy Quran and what God spoke, he spoke to me. That's direct enough. If I hear what the Buddha have spoken, it touched my, he spoke to me. And this is the time we have together to look together. I don't ask you to join Sangha, to do, no. It's enough if you follow, if you hear and make use of it. Don't give up too quickly because your mind goes, no. We listen to our mind far too much. Listen a little bit to your heart. No? Listen, the invitation came by grace. It is a great friend. Listen. He shows you something that maybe our habits may have blocked us from really seeing. But it's come again. The voice comes again. Remind you, you are not these things that you see. You are not the things you condition to believe you are. You are much more than this. Look with me and I will show you. And the discovery is entirely your own. Make use of it. Make use of it. They say that this age is the age of Kali Yuga, which means it's a very challenging time for human beings, very difficult period. But you are going to turn this Kali Yuga into your golden age. Because perhaps if things are too nice for the mind, you never wake up. But when life squeezes, when tragedies come, we are bound to reflect and to look a bit more deeply. The truth is never apart from you. It's all the love that comes from God. God means that universal consciousness, which you may conceive of as pure awareness even, but a benevolent force that works on behalf of every living being to bring us into awakening, not just to give you things. All things we have, they're perishable, including the body that you require to enjoy them. This is also perishable. This is a mortal body, but the immortal one is living inside, disguising itself as a person for a while. He comes to Satsang to wake up. So may this chance not be wasted. Because there are many things in life, they come up just to waste your time. So make use of time to discover the timeless one. While your body is still warm, win freedom. It's possible. Your form, our forms are created for this adventure of self-discovery. In my heart, I cannot leave one out. I cannot look in the face of any human being, even the most wicked person, and feel you are not included in this. I can only look and see the tiredness, the fear that has blinded us from our true seeing. So from now, these satsangs, I'm blessed by God to keep going deeper until you are resolved. I'm not going to promise you another season, because the mind is going to say, yeah, okay, next time. We are experts at postponement and postponing the thing you most need to see today. You know? So I don't want to make any promise to anybody. But I feel that I speak today because while I'm here, I'm only for this. And it is not difficult. Why? Because you are already the self. I can't get you to create the self. The self is uncreated. The form is created. The mind is creating. But our self is the uncreated reality. This life is to discover that. But that's just my feeling. So, God bless you, and may this season, this time here, be your time, your heart's time. You see? May it be your heart time. See you again. I'll let you talk with you.
Yes, certainly.
book of Santa Dhaneshwar and a letter.
Watch words.